Hey guys, Dr. Prometheus here, and I'm re-recording the franchise reveal because, well, a Windows update screwed up the franchise reveal in the first game too. So, we're going to be doing a new franchise. It's going to be one of two on the channel. This first one, though, we're going to have some fun going with my team. We're going to use the active roster right now because it has the COVID injuries, the COVID ops out for the season. And we are going to do interesting team here in the Chicago Bears. So big names here: Khalil Mack, Allen Robinson, Cordell Patterson. We got some questions at quarterback. We also have some questions on what we're going to do at safety. Is Sean Gibson the answer? On top of that, the O-line, will they play better, or do we have to revamp some of this O-line? The running game, can it get better? Cordell Patterson, do we keep him? A lot of questions here in Chicago.
Recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the left.
So I'm going to keep everything as default right now. For the preseason, we're going to send the preseason and turn off injuries. I'm going to roll with that.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
But this is going to be a new series from what we are usually doing. And that is, we are going to actually be doing a live commentary. So I'll be doing some commentary in the game itself that we'll be playing, that sort of thing. It's not something I normally do, but we're going to do it here. We're going to have Jalen Johnson, Cole Kmet, and let's give some to, I think Mooney will get some playing time, ultimately. Let's give it to Vildor. I don't know what we're going to do with Buster Skrine at the end of the day. 31, he's going to regress. We're going to have probably Vildor out there. We'll see what he can do. But we're going to put Jalen Johnson, Cole Kmet, and Vildor. We're going to allow the train to sim naturally. And the reason why we're going to do that is because it should be the same as the CPU. But for the first week, you have to unselect it like that so you can pick the players that you want to ultimately get the training. Don't need that. Now let's do, other than look over the roster. So at quarterback, it's Mitchell Trubisky or Nick Foles. I actually did the right roster. Yep, Eddie Goldman is injured for the keys. But yeah, what do we do with quarterback? Mitchell Trubisky's in a contract year. Traded for Nick Foles. He's on contract for 2 years. And Foles being at 31 is going to start to regress. But can Mitch come out and perform? Week 1, he normally owns the Lions. He has a pretty good record against the Lions. 4-0, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. Plays very good against the Lions. But can he play good against the Packers? Over at halfback, David Montgomery is here. Patterson, who the game put at halfback, but this allows you to actually have packages at halfback and receiver for Cordell Patterson. So we'll have him listed as a halfback. Tariq Cohen, in real life, just signed a 3-year deal extension, $5 million. So next opportunity we get to sign him, we will sign him to that $5 million contract. And Ryan Nall. We don't run with a fullback. At wide receiver, Allen Robinson, another player in a contract year. Of course, we're going to lock him up, but it's all about what money we give him. For the signings in the year, I think it's only been Cohen. We will sign Cohen when we can, the first instant we can. Other than that, any re-signings we do will be at the end of the season. And here's why. It gives us a point to where we give a contract, and if it's not enough, we then have to decide if we're going to franchise tag someone. I feel like having a negotiation so much over the year allows you to tailor it to a point where you can get the player regardless. And I want it to a point to where the opportunity to have to use the tag is there. So that's what we're going to do it. We have Anthony Miller here. Can he take the next step and be that number 2 receiver? Ted Ginn that was brought in, 35 years old. Really just in for depth. We're going to see a lot more of Wims, Ridley, and Mooney up in the slot. And Ginn's really there as a reserve guy. At tight end, completely revamped tight end room. One of the least productive positions last year. And quite honestly, I think the starting tight ends that the Bears had last year, that was the least producing tight end room in the league. And not just out of yards and production like that, but just one of the worst at producing and blocking, run game, everything like that. So it was revamped. We brought in Jimmy Grant coming over from the Packers, Demetrius Harris over from the Chiefs, and we drafted Cole Kmet. We brought back J.P. Holtz, who really is more of that tight end guy. Patrick Scales, no real use to have a long snapper in Madden, but in reality, he's a great long snapper. He's going to be one of the cuts that we end up doing. We're going to end up keeping 4 tight ends because we're going to need someone that play that fullback position. It's likely going to be J.P. Holtz. So, on the offensive line, I like it so far. We're not doing little crazy stuff that we did last year. James Daniels going to stay at left guard. We're going to keep Whitehair at center. Did sign Jermaine Ifedi from the Seahawks in free agency. He's going to come over and anchor that right guard position after the retirement of Kyle Long. And then we have Bobby Massey on the right side. Really the oldest one on the line, 31 years old, so we might have to look at signing someone. I think he still has 3 years left on his deal, if I'm not mistaken. 4 years left on his deal, so we got him until he is 35, and that's a contract we might not like in the long term. We're going to have to roll with it. On the defense, Akeem Hicks, after that injury last year and banged up, well, he's going to come back, and he is hungry. With Brent Irvin behind him. On the right end, it's going to be Roy Robertson Harris starting. Getting his first time as a player in his contract year. See what he can do. And then Eddie Goldman, who opted for the COVID protocol, so he is out for the first season. They actually have him as a complete PCL tear to make sure he is actually out for the season, but in reality, he's actually healthy. He just opted out of not playing, or opted to not play. So we'll have Bilal Nichols here starting at the defensive tackle. Brought in Mario Edwards Jr. to play behind him with some depth, and John Jenkins, we brought him back. The linebacking core, the ever dangerous Khalil Mack. He is here to do work. Travis Gibson, who was drafted by the Bears, I think he was a mid-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Fifth round pick for the Bears. Middle linebacker, Roquan Smith, a little bit of a changing of the guard as Roquan really ends up being in our passing packages. Dan Trevathan slowly. But he is a very good player, so he is slowly being a little bit of changing of the guard in Roquan, but we'll see him some of our packages when it comes to passing. Iggy's behind him with Josh Woods. Out on the right, outside linebacker. In the offseason, we saw Leonard Floyd be released. He is now a Ram. And we brought Robert Quinn from the Cowboys in free agency. We brought him over to play against Khalil Mack. A very dangerous duo here. He had 13.5 sacks, I believe, last year. In reserve, we have Barkevius Mingo as depth. James Vaughters. At corner, we have Fuller, Skrine, Jalen Johnson, the rookie, with hidden dev. He is going to get the start opposite of Kyle Fuller out wide. We'll see what he can do. I think he has at least the instincts to start. Definitely going to need some man coverage upgrades, but I think he's going to be able to play very well for us starting his career. Artie Burns is hurt. Brought him over from Pittsburgh, but unfortunately he tore his ACL in one of the 20 practices they had. But Duke Shelley, Bill Dorr, who's another guy who drafted from Georgia Southern, and Michael Joseph, who is also injured. For the safeties, the ever dangerous Eddie Jackson, one of the best free safeties in the league, will have him. Jordan Lucas is behind him. However, he has a long-term injury, PCL tear, so it's going to be Sherrick McManus with depth and DHC behind him. We brought in Tashawn Gibson after being cut from the Texans, and we've really struggled in filling the strong safety spot after Adrian Amos left and signed a big deal with the Packers. So it's still a question mark. Is Gibson going to be there? Is it going to be Christian that takes over for him? It's going to be Deion Bush is a better answer. I have no idea here. We're going to see what we get out of Tashawn Gibson. In real life, Eddie Pinheiro is hurt, and that's why they have 2 kickers on the roster. But we're just going to go with Pinheiro, obviously. For our draft picks, we don't have a 4th round. We don't have our 7th, but we have Atlanta's 7th. Other than that, we have the rest of our picks for 2022. So let us get into the preseason. We're going to sim the preseason, get the upgrades, get our practice squad going, getting set up, all that fun stuff. Our upgrades here. I'm going to do it for the starters and the guys that I feel are going to be huge threats or future players that we want to keep in. We have him, Riley Ridley. Give him slot. For some reason, I'm not getting any sound. That might actually take down the sound for this, so I might have to get the menu up. At least we have some kind of sound in the background, you know? That's the league. Put the 15, so at least we get to hear some stuff here. And then, so we have this. We will go into... Let's look at our depth chart. Let's set our depth chart right now. Of course, Trubisky, halfback. That's fine. Let's actually keep it like this. Miller, let's put Riley Ridley here. Then Mooney. Kind of see how that goes from there. And then Jimmy Graham, Mitch Davis. Okay. Robertson Harris needs to start there. That's why we check everything beforehand. There's no silliness. Johnson. Vildor, Shelley. Free safeties, Jackson. Ennis. Good there. Summaries, the power back. Slot receiver. Let's have it as Anthony when we're in a 3. I actually like that idea. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't like it. When we're in a sub linebacker package, bring in Deion Bush. Yeah. We have to, we will. And of course, that's going to be here. Jelly. Or actually, I am going to flip that. When it comes to slot receiver, either be Ridley, Patterson, Mooney. All right, so let's skip ahead to the regular season here. Massey, talking about James Daniels, who's on the left side. Let's get him passing. Let's get him finesse. Give me some. Trevathan. Get him the field general. Ooh, good with man coverage. That's a nice one. Duke Shelley. Get him the man-to-man to get him a scheme fit so he gets more points. 3-to-man. Okay. Alex Barnes, I don't care. He's really a reserve lineman. Okay. Go one more, and then we have to set our practice squad. Of course, Deion Bush. Upgrade him. He might be in our packages. PHC. Zone coverage. And then Mitch. Of course, the improviser. I'll have to see what Mitch can do this season. Deep throw, deep throw, short, throw on the run. Okay. Take those. They're good ones. Yeah, of course, Patrick Scales. And the fact that we're not going to obviously keep 2 kickers. Silly. There's probably one more cut I want to do. Probably not. Ours 50. Briggs, though, is probably better. Move Bars to the practice squad. We are going to sign practice squad eligible. We're going to bring in Josh Rosen for the practice squad. I don't think he's going to stay there for that long, though. We'll put David Blau there as well. Put Higdon. Atwell. Atman. Put Keelan Doss. Of course, we're going to put Horsted on there. Simmons. Kevin Tolliver. Brooks. We got a Maryland. Okay, got one more. Nope, that is the last one. Okay. All the ones that are eligible. I do want to bring in one player. I think I actually do have enough. He's right here. Put him on my practice squad. Okay. So we do need one more practice squad. Put on. Put a tight end on Steven Sullivan. You? Okay. All right, jumping to here. We'll set our season goal. It's, of course, to make the playoffs. Grading our players. Grade the ones we care about. Man-to-man on Jalen Johnson. With the play rec and tackling. Cole Kmet, of course, possession guy. Also has a hidden dev. James Daniels. Power. Pass protector to get him a scheme fit. Bill Dorr, who probably needs slot portion. Coverage tackle. Iggy might be a guy that plays if we have any injuries. All right, guys, so that will be our introduction. We have to go into Ford Field. I have the slider set. I have the time. I have everything ready to go. I'm going to re-record this first game for you guys and get that up. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to check out this series. Check out other series on the channel. Wait for that second series, which I'll be probably figuring out what to do this weekend and this week while I'm gone camping, trying to figure out how I want to do this second season or second series. And look out for that one in the next couple of weeks. But thank y'all for joining me, guys. I will see you next time. Later.